Exodus 4, verse 1. So hold on, what happened so far? All right, Moses was being instructed by the Most High to do what? To free the people? That's what he instructed Moses to do? Go tell Pharaoh. Go to Pharaoh. That's the instruction. And tell Pharaoh to free the people. Okay? This is what Moses is being instructed so far. Most High came to him in what form? Burning bush. Come. All right? Came to him in the form of a burning bush. All right? Moses had a son. What's his son's name? Huh? Gershom. Right, Gershom. All right. Whose daughter was that?
Zipporah. Oh, Zipporah.
Right. What was her father? Jethro, right. Jethro. All right, it says Jethro in the Bible, right? So Jethro's son, daughter, Zipporah, they married Moses, and he had a son and a son named Gershom. Okay, that's with a Midianite woman. Okay. All right, so this is where we at. So we pick it up with Exodus 4, verse 1.
Exodus 4, verse 1. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Most High hath not appeared unto thee.
Right.
And the Most High said to him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent, and Moses fled from before
it. So Moses dropped the rod and became a snake, and he flee. As tough as Moses is, when you see a snake, you're going to run. All right? Very few people will stand in front of a snake all of a sudden. Okay? You got to, sneak up on you. All right?
The fact that it was just a rod. It was just a rod, now it's a snake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's enough to make you flee. All right, read.
The Most High, 5. That they may believe. Okay, 4. And the Most High said unto Moses, put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that Yahweh, the power of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have appeared unto thee.
Right. So what again? I'm gonna do something miraculous, so that the people will know, that what the Father is with you. Not that they're going to glorify Moses, but that they'll glorify the Most High. See, a lot of people in this society say, well, if somebody were to do something miraculous, everybody would look to that person and glorify that person, saying, oh, wow, he got power, or she got some sort of power. But the power that was given to Moses was to the glory of the Heavenly Father. And that's the main thing we have to understand. If the Most High would give someone some miraculous power, it will be to his glory, not to that person's glory. Everybody understand that? Yeah. Read.
And the Most High said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Right.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Uh-huh. So then what? His hand turned like the other flesh. So when he put it in there, he came out, it was leprous as snow. What color is snow?
White.
Right.
They couldn't do that with Charles Heston.
Right. White man,
They left that
and he put his hand in there and he came out white. That wouldn't be a miracle. Right?
They left that part of the movie.
Yeah, they didn't put that in the Ten Commandment movie because that wouldn't make no sense. Right? How you put your hand in there and come back still white? Right? That's another way you can prove that what? Moses was a dark-skinned man. Okay? For a dark-skinned man to put his hand in his bosom, come out, and is white. Now, that's a miraculous thing. All right, like, okay, that's not normal. Okay, so this is what Moses did. All right, read on.
Well, take note, it said, turn again as his other flesh.
Right.
Right. You understand? As a other flesh. The meaning of there's something other than what was it, the white.
Right.
So it's telling you that it's a darker color. Okay. So again, we see a lot of stuff was purposely left out of that movie because it wouldn't make sense. Okay, so now we have this understanding. Okay, we have this understanding in the scriptures, so we now know when we see these movies, we can see right through the lines and see all the falseness that they put in these movies. That's why we got to continue to study, because growing up, like we know now that Moses was identified that he was like the circumcision, but in the movie, right, it says it had that cloth that, oh, this is a Hebrew cloth. This is how we know he's a Hebrew. Right. But all along, until I started to understand the truth of the Bible, that's how I understood that they found out he was an Israelite. Right. With that, oh, this is a Hebrew cloth. Only Hebrews have that. So we see a lot of stuff they put in there. It was false. So we have the 8th verse. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. Mm-hmm. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these 2 signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, and thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it upon a dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. Mm-hmm. And Moses said unto the Most High, O my power, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech, and of a slow tongue. Right. And the Most High said unto him, who have made man's mouth, or who have made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not the Most High? Have not I the Most High? Right. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. Right. So a lot of times you come in this truth, and you say, well, I don't make speeches. I'm not the type of person to stand in front of people and speak. Okay. I'm not the type of person to stop people on the street and just start talking to them. But that's who you are. That's not who the Most High is. And you got to understand, when you come in this truth, you're going to do things that you would never do. Right? You thought you would never do this. I always make that joke. When I first heard this truth, I said, yeah, that sounds good, but I'm not going to put no garments on and go in the street. You got to be kidding me. I'm looking like a lunatic. Right? I don't understand how they do that. Right? 25 years later, right? That's all I'm looking to do every day, is put my garment and go out in that street and teach the people. All right? Stopping people. Do you know the Most High? Do you know the Lord? If you're going to do things that is not of your character. It's not my character to stand in front of a bunch of people and talk before I came in this truth. But the Most High made it that way. I'm not quick with speech. It doesn't matter. Whatever you think you are don't matter. That's the point that's being made. Whatever hold-ups you got, that hold-up is not with the Most High Yah. Because he makes the dumb, the deaf, the blind. He makes people see. He gives you speech. Okay? He'll take over your vessel. You just got to have faith. Everybody understand that? All right, our foreparents, hold that real quick. Give me Jeremiah 1 and 4. Somebody might say, well, he's good at speaking. That's why he can do that. I'm not, no. The Most High will take your vessel and give you what you need to bring forth his word. 1 and 4. Jeremiah 1 verse 4. Mm-hmm. Then the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, right, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Come on.
And before I came forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
You don't know what the Most High have in store for you. Before you was born, when you was conceived, the Most High said, yeah, I got something for this one. You are now finding out. You are now waking up. You're now saying, man, you know, I never thought. We didn't grow up as children saying, yeah, I'm going to be a prophet of the Most High, yeah. And I'm going to keep the Shabbat day holy. What I knew about that? I ain't know nothing about that. I mean, like any little child, he said, oh, they're going to be a policeman, a fireman, an astronaut, a doctor, right? Something to that effect. Okay, a lawyer, those that like to argue, right? But you're not thinking that, yo, I'm going to become a prophet of the Most High. I'm going to go out in the streets and prophesy to the downfall of the kingdom, of this wicked kingdom. No child thinking like that. Okay? But what? The Most High got something in store for you. Right? Read on.
Then said I, Yahweh thy power, behold, I cannot speak.
I cannot what?
I cannot speak.
He said, I cannot speak. He doesn't mean that he can't talk. He said, I can't make speeches. I'm not that type of person. This is Jeremiah saying this now. Read on.
For I am a child.
Right.
But the Most High said unto me, say not I am a child.
Right.
But thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt thou speak.
Right. Be not afraid.
Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Most High.
Right. So what? He said, listen, go and speak my words. Don't be afraid. Go and speak the words of the Most High, and I'll be with you. We go out forth to teach this word. We got to have faith that the Most High is with us, man. Okay? He's with you. He's going to put the words in your mouth. You can't say this is not for me, that's for me. Oh, I like to do this. I'd rather do this. Okay? Where the Most High needs you, he's going to put you. Read.
And the Most High put forth his hand and touched my mouth.
Right.
And the Most High said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth.
Read.
See, I have this day sent thee over the nations and over the kingdoms.
Right.
To root out.
To do what?
To root out.
Come on.
To pull down.
Come on.
And to destroy.
Right.
And to throw down.
Come on.
To build and to plant.
All that by the words of his mouth. So that's the power of the Most High. The Most High touch your mouth. You ain't got to worry about where you build, what type of talker you are. You know, whether you like to be amongst people, you don't like to be in front of people. All that's your own thoughts. Okay? The Most High got work for you to do. And when you're faithful, you're going to do that work regardless of how you used to be or how you think you are. Okay? Moses didn't want this. Jeremiah didn't want it. But look at we're talking about them now. Jeremiah, one of the greatest prophets to walk the earth. Moses, one of the greatest men leaders in Israel to ever. You know what I mean? Nobody's on Moses' level. Okay, on the earth. So keep that in mind as we go through the scriptures that the Father is in control. Everybody understand that? Go back to Exodus. We're at 4 and 14.
And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Moses, and
right.
He said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Right.
And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
Right, so what? He was upset with Moses when he made that statement. He said the anger of the Most High was kindled towards Moses, meaning that what? He got a little heated with Moses when Moses started acting like he can't do something. All right, so when you go to the Most High and you start making excuses, that's when he's going to anger the Most High. Okay? When he give us commandment and we make excuses, we are running in jeopardy of angering the spirit of the Most High God. Everybody understand that? We can't make excuses for the Father. He ain't trying to hear our excuses. He wasn't trying to hear Moses' excuses. He ain't going to hear our excuses. But he gave Moses a way out. He said, listen, now his brother come to meet me. He's a good speaker. You know what I mean? He's a leader. He's a talker. So he'll talk for you some of the time. But I'm going to put it in both your mouths what to say. All right, read.
and he shall be thy spokesman unto the people.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of a power.
Right. So what? Who at the higher level, Moses or Aaron? Moses, right? Right. Moses is like a god to Aaron. Meaning that when the Most High was dealing with Moses directly, and Moses dealing with Aaron. All right. So, but Moses first. All right. Moses is the Most High right hand man, and and Aaron was given unto him to help him with what he needs to accomplish as a spokesman. All right. Read it.
And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, Go in peace.
Right.
And the Most High said unto Moses in Midian, Go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life.
Right.
And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon a donkey, and returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of the Most High in his hand.
Right. So everybody that knew what Moses did to that Egyptian, they all dead and gone. So you ain't got to worry about nobody looking for you. So he said, going back to Egypt, nobody's looking for you now. The whole story is done. The coast is clear. Right. The heat is off. So now you can go back in Egypt. All right. Read.
And the Most High said to Moses, When thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, and he shall not let the people go. And thou wilt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Even my what?
My firstborn.
Right. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. All right. Very important scripture to always remember that we are the firstborn of Israel. We are his sons of the Most High. Israel is the sons of the Most High. Right? Consider his firstborn. What does the firstborn get?
Inheritance.
The inheritance. So we're the inheritors of all that is called Yah on this earth. And Yah created the whole heaven and the earth so that we have a large inheritance coming to us. All right? Read on.
And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. If thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
Right.
And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Most High met him and sought to kill him. Yes. And Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son, right, and cast it at his feet, and said, Surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Mm-hmm. So he let him go. Then she said, A bloody husband thou art, because of the circumcision.
Right.
And the Most High said to Aharon, Go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of the Most High and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Most High who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel.
Right. So Zipporah realized what? That their son was what? Not circumcised. So he had to circumcise. She circumcised that son. Because, in that, the Most High would have found fault in Moses and in his household. So that he about ready to go on a mission for the Most High. When you go to do a mission for the Most High, what do you got to realize? You got to make sure that everything is right with you. That's why the Father said, you set your own house in order, then you go to reprove. All right? You got to get yourself right, then you go get people right. You can't be having sin and withholding wickedness within your house, and then you're going to go out and try to teach the people to get down. That's not the way to go do this work. Okay? So this is why this had to be done at this time, because he's about to go on a major mission for the Most High. He got to check himself, make sure everything is right. The Spirit came upon Zipporah to realize that what our son needs to be circumcised. So she got a sharp stone, circumcised. All right. She took on that work. Got to get it done. All right. Let's read on.
Yeah, I remember one time my brother told he was in Florida. He moved to some state, and the cat had an open warrant, and he said he want to go to Camp and teach. I said, brother, you need to clear that warrant up. I was like, how you going to Camp teach? You got a warrant. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, this guy's not using sense. And one time he asked me, he said he wanted to make some signs up, and he asked me to send him some money. I'm like, listen, I'm not sending you no money to go to camp and you got a warrant. I said, you need to get that stuff cleared up. You know, these are things we gotta, you know, and I tell brothers, you know, brothers want to come, they want to join the camp. You know, we ask brothers, you can put other people in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? You got an open warrant, you got a camp, the white man's the devil. Next thing you know, a whole SWAT team is around the camp. You know, you would think that somebody used common sense. I got a warrant and they're looking for me. I'm at camp saying the white man's the devil. Okay.
And on YouTube.
YouTube. Facebook Live. You know. But I was watching some cat, you know, you got guys on YouTube, on Facebook Live with guns and drugs, and I'm like, it's not the police seeing this, you know, the ignorance of our people. You know, one time that guy, there was a guy, remember the guy just got released, just got out of prison. And he goes on Facebook Live talking about how it's so good to be back home and free. And somebody just shoots him right there. Got like 7 shots. You remember that video that cat just got out of the prison, was talking how happy he was to be home?
Yeah, he was on Facebook.
He's Facebook Live, somebody killed him right there on Facebook Live. Okay. So, and you know, Esau created all these things. Esau, black people they like to amuse, they like attention, and we'll give them Facebook.
Well, I'll tell you something about Facebook, man. People think it's cool, man. You know, you put your face on Facebook and the Facebook can read your face. Right? Everybody knows that, right? The Facebook can read your face. It comes up. Right? If you have a picture of somebody, let's say 4 of you in a picture, you post that to Facebook, Facebook wants to tell you who those people are. And everybody thinks, oh, it asks you, do you want me to tag this person? Right? To let you know that, listen, you put a picture with this person in the picture. And everybody look, oh man, that's cool. Everybody think about that for a moment. Technology, right? That means that every time, every face that's on Facebook can be tracked. For every picture, anywhere you go. Now your face is in a database, right? For any camera that pick you up wherever you at, your face hits that database, they know that you were over there. All right? Understand what they use these things for. All right? It ain't for fun and games for you to know who's in the picture. All right? If you don't have a Facebook, you can't bring your name up. Right? Right? Like for instance, I got pictures, right? I got pictures, Khan and myself. His name ain't gonna come up. Right? They giving me other names for him. They got all kind of names pop up for every time a different name. My own, but it's always Israelites. Different Israelites come up with it, so they know how to tie you in with other Israelites. Never I seen any other name but another Israelite name pop up for his face. So I said, you know what? This thing is tracking us. Right? This ain't just you know everybody put on their pictures and stuff, but it's tracking us, man. It's letting us know that I see you. I know what you're doing. I know where you at. I got your face.
Big brother's watching.
That's it. He's watching. Okay. And the way Esau does slick, he'll make us volunteer information. We don't realize we volunteering that information. All right. Like what's that? Your GPS. It wants you to check in here and there. So your GPS is tied to your Facebook. You check in, then they know exactly how you got to where you at. Right? All this information, we're just giving it freely. Every move we make is being tracked at this point. All right. So just be mindful when you're using these devices that you don't give up too much information. All right, because this things are being stored, it's being logged in, and it's being referenced. Okay. All right. So let's read on.
You don't think because you got an Israelite Facebook and you got a worldly Facebook, they not putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, they got you.
Well, that's my worldly Facebook. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is Clark Kent, Superman. And Aaron spake all the words which the Most High had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed. And when they heard that the Most High had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshiped, 5th chapter. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
Right.
And Pharaoh said, who is the Most High, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go?
Right.
I know not the Most High, neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the God of the Hebrews has met us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Most High power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword.
Right.
And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works, get you unto your burdens.
Right. Shouldn't y'all be working too? So he said, why are you trying to get these people from their work? Trying to disrupt what we have going on here. Shouldn't you guys be working also? When you come in here talking about let the people go? Okay. Get a job. You got to tell Moses and Aaron. Okay. Get back to work. Right. That's what a lot of the people would like us to do. Get off these street corners. Stop prophesying, man. Get back to work. That's right. That's what they tell us.
Get a job.
All right. They would have no problem with us if we were out there working, just like everybody else. Showing the freedom to bring forth the word of the Most High. The spirit of righteousness, now they got a problem with it. Okay. Now there's a problem. Okay. Read them.
But you notice that the third verse said what the God of the Hebrews has met with us.
Right.
Because a lot of people, they want to make the Most High a power to all the nations.
Yeah, everybody's got it.
Okay, but it's very distinct right here. It said what the God of the Hebrews. Okay, so yes, the Most High created all nations. He did create all nations, but he's only the one, he's only the God of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, we're not disputing that he created the nations, but what we are disputing is that he is their God. Okay, he is our God, and we are his people. And this is what the other nations got to understand. Okay, Israel is the gods to the other nation. Okay, the Most High dwells with us, but we reversed it. Okay, we want the white man to be our God. We want to be like the white man. A lot of our people doing what? Bleaching their skin. Okay, when they're doing the opposite. They get in what do you call it? They're tanning salon. They taking pills. They doing these Botox, getting big lips, big butts, boobs, all kind of stuff. You know, just to look like our people. So there is a distinction. So the Most High, he said, what? The God of the Hebrews. This is something that we can boast of. Okay, Israel is the only nation that was what? Fed what? Manna from heaven.
That's right. No
other nation can say they were fed manna. So these are things that we can boast of as a nation. But we're not going to appreciate it. If you don't know who you are, okay, if you don't know your power, you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going, so all these things are missing. Like I was rapping with the brother out there, and he said that he went in a so-called Arab. He said your father's Ishmael, right? So he said the guy looked at him like, how do you know that? And then he's like, you know why? And actually, he said that Ishmael told him. He said, you're a Hebrew. Okay, so a lot of these nations, they already know this information, but it's not a benefit to make it known to you.
Right, that's their job.
Okay, so they're still scratching their head. Well, how these Negroes find this out? Okay, because they would expect us to be docile for years, still in ignorance, still sagging our pants. Okay, still getting high, being drunk, being high on religion. Okay, high on drugs. Because why? As long as we're at the bottom, they continue to be on top. But now the Most High is slowly but surely, he's turning this thing around. Okay. But we got to come on one accord and see the Most High, what the Most High is doing to, what's that guy? Umar Johnson. Okay. Then you have the other guy, which was, this guy surprised me. The guy from Hidden Colors. Tariq. I never expected this. I mean, when I saw Umar wilding out, because normally, you know, he got a suit on, he's, you know, very versatile, very eloquent with his words. And then we saw the other guy started using all these curse words. He had a cap on, he's like ready to go to a fight. The other guy, Tariq, this other guy that made the Hidden Colors. So he's going back and forth with Umar Johnson now. Both of them, they want to fight each other. to the point where somebody said, well, they need to get Farrakhan as a mediator and sit the two of them down. But what's happening now, the Most High is crushing all these so-called black groups.
Yeah, all these fake fake messiahs.
Yeah, these conscious community.
Mm-hmm.
The only conscious community is the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's it.
Okay, that's the only conscious community. So what's going to happen is they're going to have to, right now, he's actually, I think this week coming, Umar Johnson has to go before the court because they're saying he falsified his doctor's degrees. They really say he's not really a doctor. So he's got to show, but that's also disgrace because now you got a lot of white people that actually buy certificates, buy doctorates because they're white. Nobody questions that.
Right.
You understand? But he said that because for a couple of years now, Umar Johnson's been collecting money. He said he's building some school, and he didn't build it yet.
Right.
But he's been using a GoFundMe. But you know, GoFundMe takes a certain percentage. So he said he collected about 300,000, but GoFundMe took about 100,000. You understand? So he didn't really get all that money.
Right.
But he said after they took all his money, now I think he said they shut down his GoFundMe page, and which is better. He said it's better for him because now people got to give him money or money orders, whatever. Because when you use these GoFundMe, PayPal, they all take a percentage. You understand? But like what I was bringing out prior, that this is the top knowledge on earth. Okay. But because he's using the white man's wisdom, now he's brought before their court system, and now he can be charged for, lying or whatever. But they can't charge us for anything for using the Most High's knowledge. Okay, this is the top knowledge on earth. They can't pull us to their court. Okay, we teach the words of Yah, but what's going to happen? These men have to come back to their nationality. They got to come back to the Lord Shabbat commandment. They holding on to all these doctrine degrees. I got a master's. I got a BS and BA. All this stuff like that. You understand? So this is the top knowledge. But we got to monitor to see what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do. I know they freeze his accounts, whatever like that. But now the Most High's got these guys going against each other. These guys from Hidden Colors and Umar Johnson. Polite. He's been dropped out, right? He's not. He said he's not teaching. Yeah, he's been in the media for a minute.
Yeah, he's doing no more public speeches and all kind of stuff, and just private speeches.
Now.
Yeah, he got that check. He's all right.
He's sold out. He's in Hollywood. Then what happened was when he started speaking against the same community that used to support him, talking about people in the project and stuff like that. That's when he made a mistake. Because right now he didn't see their money important no more because he started stepping up and getting, started dealing with athletes and, other entertainers. So I guess to him, their money is not important anymore. He can disrespect them. You understand? But these are the same people that made him where he was at. But again, the Most High is exposing them for who they are so they can come back to the reality of this Bible. Okay, best instruction before leaving Earth. They got to come back. That's the only solution for our people to come back to the understanding of these scriptures. Our people are looking for a quick way out. There's no quick way out of salvation. I was listening to Malcolm X. The only way we're going to get salvation is through what? Through bloodshed. There's got to be a war. You haven't seen any other nation get any type of independence or anything without fighting, without war. The thing about it is our men are scared to fight. You understand? They don't want to fight. They'll fight their own people. They'll shoot their own brother in the corner for drugs, but they're not going to fight their oppressor. Okay, we gotta identify who's the enemy. Your brother's not your enemy. Okay, when you identify who's your enemy, now you can make a plan. But if you think that your brother's the enemy, okay, you got a problem. Okay, you're not gonna have a solution. Okay. Where we leave off, folks? We read fifth verse.
Yeah.
Exodus 5:5. And Pharaoh said, "Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens." And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, "Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick. As heretofore, let them go and gather straw for themselves."
Right.
and the tail of the bricks which they did make heretofore, yet shall lay upon them, ye shall not diminish aught thereof. For they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our power.
Right. He said, oh, they need more work to do.
Right.
All right. And they say, give them more jobs. Right? Give them more work to do. Keep them busy.
Overtime.
Right? Get them overtime. That's right. Donald Trump said this place needs more jobs. He said, y'all idle. Y'all need to be building this place. Okay? The infrastructure. Right? So they're gonna give us more work to do. So that we too tired to think about anything but going back to work tomorrow. You know how to grind, he's gonna put you in that daily grind. All you think you go to work, after work, all you do is what? Prepare to go back to work. And then you're back at work. You get off work and you're preparing to go back to work. And a lot of our people do this 7 days a week.
Cycle.
Right? Could you imagine doing that 7 days a week? Never stopping. Never realizing that, wait a minute, there's something more to life. There's a power, there's a God, there's things that we ought to be doing. Right? There's things that we ought to be serving. But these industries in this world, and a lot of you young brothers need to understand this. As you're moving up in these industries in this world, they're going to try to require your life. They're going to want your life. Yes, they're going to give you that check at six figures. Oh, yeah. They'll wave that in front of you, but what they're going to require of you to get that, you ain't going to be willing to do that, man. You ain't going to be calling on the Yahweh no more, that's for sure. You're going to forget that name, because you're going to be so busy trying to do that next job or take care of that next task, or Esau make you take your whole life, man. Esau ain't got no life, but this is his kingdom. You know what I mean? They at the job on the day off. They just, what are you doing? I'm just at the job, just checking things out. But you off today. Just making sure things is good. How you guys doing? I'm like, you have no life, right? I can't wait to get out of work. I'm at the clock, like, yo, that's the longest 2 minutes of my life, right? I damn near knocked the door down trying to get out of it. And they damn want to be there just lingering. What are you lingering here for?
Screech your tires.
Right? Right? What are you lingering here for? Right? Because that become their life. A lot of them, they sad, they retiring sad. Yeah, I got last year. I'm like, man. But then again, this is your kingdom. This ain't my kingdom, man.
Jake got that problem too.
Right? Jake get there too, but he learned everything from the white man.
Yeah.
Everything he do, we do. Get that straight. Everything the white man do, our people do. You name it, they do the same thing. They've learned all of his ways, as the scriptures say. They've sat and learned his ways, all his ways, and follow after his ways. But it's those that have that freedom spirit within them, that spirit to do something more than be a slave. Those are the people that the Most High looking for anyway. All right? Those that know there's more to this life than what bullocks and bricks. Right here, Esau said, listen, are we going to stop giving them straw? So that it'll make it more difficult for them to get their job accomplished. Which now they're going to have to take more time to get the same results. And this is good, because that's how you keep a people what? Oppressed. Keep them wrapped up in what we want you to do. A lot of times our people go to work, and after work they want to go look at sports. Sports and work. We wrapped up in this world. We're not doing nothing for the Most High. We're not doing nothing for the kingdom. If you got time to keep up with every NBA trade and who's on who and what team, where you get all that time from? You idle, man. There's a lot of work to be done. The scriptures say the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. There's a lot that we need to do. But you keeping up with the sports, right? It's serious. This is my show. This is my show. What happened last night on the show? You know everything that happened on the show for the last damn 9 seasons. Right? You idle. All right? Let's get back to the Most High, build up the sanctuary, go get the people. Wake them up, shake them up. Let them know that the Most High is coming soon. All right. So what? Right now, they increase our work to be the same with the same amount of people. All right. Like the preacher was bringing out, downsizing. Let's give you more work to do because this production can't drop. Okay. All right. Pick it up from 9.
Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words.
Right. Don't be worried about being free or galvanizing the people, getting the people together, creating all these things. Don't worry about that. Get to work. Right? We don't.
And the taskmasters of the people went out in their offices, and they spake to the people, saying, Thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where you can find it, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw.
Right.
And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, Fulfill your works, your daily task, as when they were with straw. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmaster had set over them, were beaten and demanded, Wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today and heretofore?
Right.
Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore didst thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, Make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten, but the fault is in thine own people.
Right.
But he said, Ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore you say, Let us go and do sacrifice to the Most High.
Right. You want to do your own thing. You are idle. You want to serve your God. We got work to be done, and you want to go do these vain things, right? So they're saying that. So they're coming back to Pharaoh saying, "Why are you dealing with us this way? Why are you increasing the work upon us? Because you're calling on, because you want to get free. You want to call on the Most High. Okay. So to understand, these are the ways of an oppressive people. All right. They want to prevent us from growing, from coming out of this bondage. Okay.
What are these bricks that they were making for pyramids specifically?
For the whole city, they built cities. Pyramids were in cities. We built the whole city, not just the pyramid. Pyramid is just one thing we built. We built everything you see out there, right? The roads, the bridges, the street, the buildings, the people dwell in, everything, the stadiums. We built enough, much more than these pyramids. Okay, right? The temples, everything we had to build, right? All the they were known for their big false statues, right? All these monuments, right? We had to build them things. They have obelisks in Egypt the size of Washington Monument, right? Who they built them? We had to build it, right? We didn't have cranes and all that kind of stuff. We had to build scaffolding, right? If you learn where scaffolding comes from, we were building scaffolding to give us the height to build these things. That we had to take down the outer structure and then reveal the inner structure on the inside. It would take us so long just to build the outer structure to allow us to build the inner structure, right? So now today they have a scaffolding company. They put that scaffolding together real quick. It wasn't like that. We had to build a building outside the building in order to build the monument that was going inside, and then break down the outer building and reveal the outer. Can you imagine how much work that was? It was an insane amount of work. All right. But what? He kept us going, kept us working. All right. That's it. They said it was about 3 million of us at this point in Egypt. 3 million workers. That's a pretty big company. Right? You got 3 million laborers. Free labor. Okay. So
18. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall you deliver the tale of bricks. And the officers of the children of Israel to see that they were in evil case, as it was said, you shall not diminish aught from your bricks of your daily tasks.
Right.
And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, the Most High look upon you and judge, because ye have made our Savior to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us.
Right. So now they coming against Moses and Aaron. They said, ever since you guys spoke up, things been more difficult for us. You making the Pharaoh hate our God, our Savior. Right? Today they would call them troublemakers. They try to stand up for something. And because the taskmasters that make things even more difficult, they want to turn on that person. Okay? We shouldn't have that mentality. Okay? We fighting for freedom, let's fight. Man. We gonna fight, let's fight together. Okay? Don't give up the ghost because things become a little more difficult. All right, read.
Anybody ever heard the sermon that Malcolm X did with the field Negro and the house Negro?
Yeah.
So the house Negro is always a problem for the field Negro is always a problem for the house Negro. Because they made it bad for him when he had to go, go inside and deal with the master. Okay, when the house was burning, the field Negro said, let it burn. But the house Negro, he came with a bucket of water and tried to put the fire out. Okay, the field Negro said, let that whole house burn down.
That's right.
Those of us here in Israel, we could be considered the field Negroes. Mm-hmm. We want to see America burn. We want to see it go down. That's right. Okay. The 20th verse. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, the Most High look upon you and judge, Savior to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and the eyes of his servants to put a sword. And Moses returned unto the Most High and said, or have thou so evil entreated this people that thou hast sent me in the Pharaoh to speak in thy name? He hath done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. Chapter 6.
One verse, chapter 6.
6 and 1. Then the Most High said unto Moses, now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land.
Right, so he said, Moses, don't worry about it. Now you're going to see the power. All this was planned out. I knew Pharaoh was going to turn up once we started challenging him. All right? You knew that already. But he said, now you're going to see the power of the Most High. Right? All the time, the Most High will let or increase our punishment so that we call on him more sincerely, so that we need him more. And then he will show us his salvation and his strength. He will bring us to a low point just to lift us up high. All right? That's the power that we serve. So sometimes when you're going through something, understand that you might have to go through it because you're waiting on that salvation from the Most High. When he brings that salvation, you can glorify his name. But if you never went through it, you probably wouldn't be calling on his name. You probably become high-minded and think you're doing this. The Most High will make you need him. Okay? When he takes the power out of your hands. All right? So that ends the portion for this Shabbat day. We'll continue on next Shabbat. Okay? Announcements.
I'm going to do the gospel. The gospel is short. So, Matthew 2 and 1 to 12.
You want to do the gospel?
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're going to do the gospel. What's the gospel portion?
The first one. Matthew 2, 1 to 12.
We're going to do the gospel portion, Matthew 2, 1 through 12.
So we see how the gospel, ties into the, to the Old Testament. So the time passed, we would go to the whole Torah and the gospel, but I just wanted to hit on the gospel today to show you how the comparison, how we go to the Torah, how it coincides with the gospel as well. So it's Matthew, the 2nd chapter, 1 through 12.
I'll read it. Matthew 2, verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
Right, so there was prophecy. Okay, just like during the time of Moses, there was prophecy that there was going to be someone that's going to lead Israel out of captivity. So there's also the foretold that Mashiach Yahushua is going to be born. And it said, well, Herod, what? He was troubled. Come on.
And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together and demanded of them where Yahushua should be born.
So they have their soothsayers, they have their warlocks, their witches. He gathered all of them together, trying to find out where the Mashiach is going to come from. Come on.
And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet.
So now it says, thus written by the prophet, meaning what? They are referring back to what? To the Old Testament. Okay, come on.
And thou Bethlehem, and though Bethlehem is in the land of Judah, art not the least among the prince of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people, right, so, Israel.
So where was it prophesied of Mashiach? In the book of Isaiah. Okay. So a lot of people think that the Mashiach just poof appeared in the New Testament. There was no mention of a Mashiach Yahushua in the Old Testament. Okay. There was a prophecy. Hold on, give me what's that, Luke?
Jennifer?
You saying the prophet concerning me? Was that Luke?
Luke 24:44. Luke 24:44. Luke chapter 24, verse 44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all must be fulfilled, which was written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me.
So now, when you in the Second Testament, anything written in red, who's saying that? Mashiach Yahushua. So he said, which is written in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms concerning me. Okay, so again, you see some of these Old Testament Israelites, they call them JC. Okay, they say there's no mention of them in the Old Testament, but all through the Old Testament is prophesied from Mashiach Yahushua. Okay, read the next verse, 45.
Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures.
All right, so until you understand that, you will have no true understanding of the scriptures. Okay, because we understand that what? That the Bible is what? It's like a puzzle, right? So if you have a puzzle and you put it together and you're missing some pieces, you don't have a full picture, because what do you have? You have an abstract. Okay, so in order for you to have a full picture, you must have all the pieces of that puzzle to have a full picture. Okay, so a lot of people look at this Bible halfway. They look at it as distorted. That's why a lot of people say, oh, the Bible contradicts itself, because they don't read the Bible the way it's supposed to be read. It must be read what? Precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how you get understanding of the scriptures. Okay, it's not a novel book where you read it all the way through. A lot of people, well, I read the Bible 3 times. You ask them, well, what's the color of Christ? Oh, it's not in there. Okay. Let me tell you that. Okay, when they tell you that, then you know. Okay, they skipped over something. Okay, let's go back.
And verse 7. Matthew 2, verse 7. Then Herod privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared.
So these guys, they dealt in what you call
Astrology.
astrology.
Yeah.
Okay, call me now. Zodiacs, all these things. This is what they dealt with. Okay, come
But
on.
we used to know how to read the stars. But at the beginning, the wise men said, we saw his star. So they were looking at the heavens as well. We understood the heavens. And the heavens does give us information. Okay? But what they're doing today with the horoscopes and things of that sort, that's on the left-hand side. That's not with the Most High. That's with Satan. All right? A lot of times power is used on the left-hand side. That's how Satan used that power. But there's power in reading the stars. All right? The scriptures talk about Issachar was one to read the stars, and the different scriptures point to us looking to the heavens to get instruction by what the stars have to say. All right? So we're going to pick it up with verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently, all right, for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. Right? So you try to set him up. Right? When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. And they saw the star. They rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. Great joy. And when they were come, he saw the young Mary, his mother, and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Right, so we read that it said gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We know that the frankincense and myrrh is the Most High's favorite fragrance. See, I've some churches teaching where you can't wear gold, but we understand that what? That they gave him gold. Okay? So the foretold of a Mashiach Yahushua being born, okay, Herod, he's trying to set him up like, yeah, let me know when you find him, because I want to come and pay my respects too. But he's want to find his whereabouts so he can put him to death. Okay, so the nations have always been conniving, sneaky, and all these things. You can't trust them. The scripture say what? Never trust our enemy. Okay, come on. You want to do one more verse?
Yeah. And being warned of Yahweh in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed unto their own country another way.
Right, so see the spirit, the Most High revealed to them that, listen, don't go to Herod.
Yeah, I'm telling him
Because
nothing.
he was plotting to kill them. But what if they would have listened and went? That's why you gotta stay right there. The Most High, a lot of times, the spirit will tell you things. A lot of times, if something comes to you in a notion, usually the righteous spirit first will tell you the right thing to do. And shortly after, it's a negative spirit. Okay? But a lot of times, if somebody tell you to do something, and right after you're like, damn, I should listen to that voice.
Right.
Okay? So a lot of times the spirit of wisdom try to tell you something, we got to listen to that. But a lot of times that will keep you out of certain dangers when you follow that spirit. Okay, so the spirit will reveal to Mary and Joseph not to go to Herod, to flee somewhere else. Huh?
Y'all heard an Israelite brother try to use verse 11 to justify celebrating Christmas.
Trying to use what?
Justify celebrating the birth of Christ. Or giving each other gifts.
11?
Yeah.
An Israelite?
Yeah.
A person that knows he's an Israelite?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to entertain that. Listen, if you Israelite, you still bound with Christmas, man. You know, keep your Christmas.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Oh.
I ain't seen that.
So that's the gospel for this week. So it goes hand in hand, again with the birth of Moses, and now we read about the birth of Mashiach Yahushua, how these leaders, same leaders, tried to eliminate Shema. A lot of us, they see us out there, they don't know who we are. A lot of times, I remember once, like having a deep conversation over there. One time I was at an airport in West Palm Beach. There was a sister I met at the airport, and she was like, "Wow, she said you were Israelite." I was like, "Yeah," and I had a suit on. And so I gave her my card since she's looking for some place to learn. So when I speak to her, she said her supervisor asked her, "Is he a Hebrew Israelite?" And I'm like, I didn't have no, robe on, no friend. Like, how do where you come off like I'm a Hebrew Israelite? They said, oh, they had to make sure I wasn't giving no contraband, and they see it was a business card. But I'm just showing how these nations, they're monitoring, because they were standing there in a cut. They had two white guys that had a suit, and I didn't know that these guys are watching me. But I'm going through security, okay? But they're watching me. They say, "Is he a Hebrew?" So she was like, "I don't know. I just met this person." They ask all these questions about me. But I'm telling you, these people are watching us. Don't think that that's why a lot of you get, I ran to brother yesterday. He had no friends, but he probably watches now. He's like, how the priest getting on me? But, this is what sets us apart from other nations. So you might be going out there, you're not wearing your fringes, okay, thinking I'm going to hide amongst the other nations.
Tucking.
Okay, or you tuck in your fringes.
Yep.
Okay, but you can't hide who you are. Okay, so in these last days, we got to understand who we are, the power we serve, and it's a. The scripture say what advantage didn't have the Jew?
That's right.
Much every way, chiefly because what the oracles of Most High was given up to us.
Right.
The other nations wish that Yahweh was their power. They wish that they were given the commandments of the Most High, and we have them, and we reject it. Okay, we gotta understand this is our blueprint to the God of heaven. Forget about Jay-Z blueprint. This is the blueprint of life. Okay, so we gotta get this. We try to reach these people that are on different plateaus that have connection with outside people, because until this word is the gospel has been preached throughout the four corners of the earth, then destruction is gonna come. Okay, through Esau's own technology, is this kingdom going to be brought down? Hallelujah. Initially, this World Wide Web was initially used to what? To track us, to do all kinds of stuff to us. But we are using, some of us are using this social media to spread this truth. Some of these people, I don't know what they be doing on social media. Always in the inbox, all kind of nothing but, we got to use it for what the Most High want this purpose to get this truth out. Okay, so you got Israelites in China, you got Israelites in Parazan, he was in India. Okay, there's a brother that he hit me up, he's in Afghanistan right now. Okay, so this word is going to different countries, different states. Okay, so we're going to see the end of this kingdom real soon. Hopefully it's in our lifetime. Hopefully it's within Trump's 4 years of presidency. They're talking about impeaching him, put back.
Get another 4. Yes.
Get him out there. Hopefully, Most High, he said he's gonna cut it short. He's gonna speed it up.
That's right.
Most High said he's gonna cut this time short.
That's right.
But who's really, it gets me with Israel. Who's really holding back the destruction? Is it the Most High? Who's holding back? We talk about we impatient. We can't wait. I can't wait to go to the kingdom. But who's holding back the destruction? We are. Okay, we're the ones that's holding back this destruction. So we can't be on tithe or Shabbat again, or this. We're the ones that's holding back this destruction. We're the ones that's keeping ourselves. The Most High said what? He said if we came back to him, that he would subdue our enemies overnight.
That's right. Overnight.
Overnight. So what are we complaining about?
1 hour. 1 hour, we're going to destroy this place. 1 hour.
This country took how many years to build? And the Most High said he's going to destroy it in 1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay, and we keep complaining. Our mind frame is we gotta get up out of this place.
Right.
That's what your mind frame. Not talking about, well, I'm gonna become a billionaire. I'm gonna get rich or die trying. No, that's not your mentality. Okay, your mentality is to see this place go down. Okay, hallelujah. Okay, this is what you gotta be on your mind. How do I help my brother and sister, survive in this kingdom? And we also, we want to help our brothers and sisters, but we also got to be wise in doing so too. Yeah. I have some recent stories I can share. Okay. But you gotta be, you get counsel. Okay. What we're setting up now too, if anybody in the congregation needing financial assistance, we're gonna have a committee. Okay. Nobody going individuals, trying to get money and stuff like that. Okay. This causes confusion. So, we're going to keep everything done in decency and in order. All right, so when is the next move coming up?
16.
You got it?
Yeah, that's correct. 16th even. Yeah, that's okay. We need to put together who's gonna. We're starting to plan the Purim, which is we have 3 high holy days back to back, right? Which is Nicanor and the 2 days of Purim. Okay, now Purim is about casting pur. So I'd like to hear the Akim wants to go about dealing with those the festivities for that day. We usually do games, board games, and like that, but now I understand that I can been competing on other levels, so maybe we could put some other games together for that Purim. But we gotta talk about it and see what how we're gonna play it out, as well as the sisterhood, and also we gotta observe the day of Nicanor. So those are 3 days from the 27th to the 1st. It's going to be, February 27th, 28th, and the 1st. All 3 days we're going to have feasts and observing of those holidays. We also do a grab bag, and we're going to pull the names on the next new moon. So at the next new moon, we're going to pull names.
Next week, Saturday, we'll do preparation. Next week, Shabbat.
Right. So don't miss that new moon. We're going to be pulling the names of that new moon. At the new moon, yeah. All right. Maybe we pull them at the Shabbat. Maybe we pull them at the Shabbat, next Shabbat. What?
We seem to always get people having somebody got 2 names, something like that. Like, we should make a list of everybody. And then when they pick up, like, somebody control that master list. So when you come and draw a name, you write it down next to that person. Right.
Okay, somebody to control that knows who got who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had quite a few people that didn't get it.
So, maybe you'll scribe it. Okay. No problem. Yeah, good idea. So we'll pull names next Shabbat. Give them enough time. Okay. And then we'll scribe it. And those that happen to not be at the Shabbat, you put their name on that master list to those that match up to people that were not there. I get it. It's not a bad, it's a good idea. Good idea. So oftentimes we have people that, I wasn't at that Shabbat, but we had no way of putting their name on a list. And I would just make a list like that. Right, but that's an example of what I'm talking about. We have these feasts coming up. If you have ideas, share. Don't share after the day. Share before the day, because everybody got great ideas after the day. Oh, you should have did this. All right? Okay, it's coming. Let's get these ideas out there. Let's get them organized, and let's let us if it's a bad idea, we'll let you know. And if it's a good idea, we're going to implement it. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. So, you don't give us the idea that we can't do nothing with it. All right.
Yeah, I just want to say a few words on behalf of Brother Israel. He's he told me he's going away to school tomorrow, even though it hurts me that everybody knows Israel is a laid back brother, talented. I hate to see him go with the spirit. I try to talk him out of it. See, it didn't work. He's still going, but the spirit is moving him to go in his move. So I just want to grant you peace and Most High to keep his head around you, and let you know that you're going to be missed by your brothers and sisters here. We only a phone call away. If I gotta, I'll drive. I'll drive out there too. I'm expecting to get something popping over there. Take your time, but you expect to hear great things. With you over there, and your family's still here. Whenever you need us, we're a phone call away.
Hallelujah. Make sure I give you Malak number, because Malak is up in that area. You can get up with that brother. Right? And Malak is online too. Malak, Yashua is coming your way out. So go there and make sure you deal with that brother right. Yeah. So what else we got?
We'll discuss Passover at the meeting.
We have our meeting about Passover first. Okay. All right. I imagine we'll put you on your roster. Stay to face Jerusalem. Hallelujah. 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 Who's the power? Who's the power? By Hashem. By Hashem. Kuras. Holy is the name. Amanoah. Yahweh. Holy is the name. Mashiach. Yahushai. Kwam Amanoah Yahweh. Kwam Amanoah Yahweh. Kwam Mashiach Yahushai. Kwam Mashiach Yahushai. Kwam Yashrala. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem. Bamashiach. Yahushai. Ahawa'ah. Delanoah. Shabbat. Shalom. Barakashah. Shemai. Zapalayim. Barak. Barapah. Bakazak. Bamagan. Ashma'ayah. Akim, Wa, Akwatim, Babakushah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Yachak, Shaitan, Yachak, Shaitan, Yachak, Ko, Rai, Chayim, Yachak, Ko, Rai, Chayim, Babakushah. The power Amos and Jacob was mercy truly endured forever. We thank Yahweh for giving us the Shabbat day. We thank Yahweh for returning our heritage unto us. We thank Yahweh for giving us the Shemawat, the Exodus, the book of Exodus, that we might learn about history, of our forefathers, and how thy power has dwelt amongst us all these years. And that we might turn back and keep the commandments and learn the ways, the righteous ways, and return therein. All this we thank thee for, Yahweh. We thank thee for all the souls in this room. We thank thee for all the Akim, Wakwakim, all the schools, all the sanctuaries that face Jerusalem on the Shabbat day. Beseeching thee of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. For we are all those that observe the Shabbat day as a day that's been set aside, has been sanctified of all the days of the week. Together as one body, one mind, and one place. Beseeching thee of wisdom, praying and praising thy high and holy name, and worshiping thee and only thee. For we are the children of Israel, we are the children of the promise, we are the children that was given of the law, we are the children that thou hast sent thy son to die for. For Heavenly Father, remember the covenant that I was made with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And return thy angels unto us, that we might know thee as we are known by thee. All this we ask in the name of thy son, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. Hallelujah. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushua. Duwarat Biyad. Amen. Amen. Most high hand. Hallelujah. There's no power like Yahweh, great King of the universe, always doing wondrous things. Let all Israel sing amen. Amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen, amen, amen. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. To the top. To the top. There's no power like Yahweh, great King of the universe, always doing wondrous things. Let all Israel sing amen. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, amen, hallelujah, hallelujah, to the top, here we go. There's no power in the universe, always doing wondrous things, and all is well. Sing amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. One more time. There's no power
was on your top. Yeah. I'm coming right back. I'm walking away.
Okay. We gotta get it so we got limousine service.
I gotta get the truck out the shop.
I'm gone, man. I'm gone, man.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna see the previous thing, but it ain't good thing.
Once you say so, I think that you vale. No.
This is a bar.
Yeah.
But last time you said that you sent the attack, but you said
Yeah.
that's why you.
Yeah.
Why you show up? Why you show up? Are you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope something good for you. Something going down there.
We can sit. Just stand to the side. Can't stand behind me. You just stand up to the side.
Okay.
Now,
We go to the council, we come back, so long.
Finding contract.
Thank you, man.
school I'm going to, contract, all those
Trying to work on it. No, I know, I'm trying to work on it.
Okay, you only came up streets.
Yeah. And that's the day my insurance money to you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trusting
Yeah, they be trying to do too much. You might have a backdrop, they want to practice.
We're going council when we come back. We're doing council when we come back. But we're going, well, we definitely going to council.
I think so.
Well, you get the stuff you can put on your wall, but don't mess with your wall.
Two sides.
Nah, you talking about the one that you make that hangs up on the wall?
Yeah, that got like stuff like this.
Yeah.
One more
And a tape, the hook one.
Yep.
You pull it,
How many mics you got now?
That's that, they work.
I put one out. That was like the one I was already.
Double side tape? From the 20.
Like a double side tape.
Yeah,
From
something
all
like
that.
that. But it has the hook on it. Okay, well, good.
That was sitting over there?
No, it's in there.
When you work out there? They school, huh?
Monday through Friday,
Don't wrap it up like that. Gotta keep it straight.
Oh, no, how you?
But test me, make sure it's fine.
Just like in service program.
No, it's 3 years, but they, oh yeah, chiropractic is trimester. So every 3 months. Some classes might take just 3 months, and some classes 6 months. I just made 2 black people, they got right around the corner. Graduated from that. It's hard, right? They that chiropractic. They all fine.
Yeah.
But if you need to build, we'll walk in and say, okay? Right.
They say they can get around a lot of people. Sorry,
Is that like a doctor? Is that like a doctor? You need a doctor. Squash it on, Mark. I'm not here, how much it's on. I don't know if you saw that text I sent you. You got brother Israel, he moving up your way tomorrow. He's gonna be living up that way for like 3 years. He's going to school up there. So I gave you a number to get in contact with you so I can link up. Mm-hmm.
Tom, I'm on exit 261 off the 95. Yeah. Yeah, I got your number, but I ain't too familiar too. But I get up there tomorrow. Once I, check the scenery out and everything, I can let you know exactly where I'm at, the address. Yeah, I'm going to chiropractic school. Yeah. Yeah, but I got your number, so we definitely link up. All right. So we'll link up tomorrow. I got your number. I'm gonna take you now. All right.
That's we can't listen to the fuck. That's what I want to go with. Is it? No, the one that was right there charging. Okay.
I was thinking one of these shabbat. Somebody come back to me. Come back to me. Right? Okay. Instead of come back here, we after we can't, I know we come back here and check. That's a way that I can get all these cats together and then take them to the workout going. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll eat. You know what I'm saying? We get to be able to work out and do something. I was doing square K, I was doing the body or whatever. Every week we here, we got to work out and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it's like that. You know, I just fall away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Work out with it, you know. Hey, you're not gonna be able to meet tonight?
Somebody bombing is thrown up over here. I know you got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got the cash out. Stay with that. That's one of them parts. There's no wrong with it. That little jiggy, kind of pressure. No more parts.
Listen, you might as well wait. We just have to be finished. That makes sense. Mop now, they gonna mop again.
All right, I'll leave it to her.
Where's got the number?
I was gonna call Mom. I'm not sure.
Waiting for you.
Oh, he's still waiting for his dad to get in the car. He says he's gonna be the second camp squad. You're going to the same spot? Oh, yeah.
Where y'all at?
We're going this week.
I guess 12 because we got council soon.
12th Street?
Well, wait, no seven. I think you were talking about that new spot. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't go there? Oh, yeah, you did.
No, I didn't know that.
There's a lot of e-bikes over there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot.
Maybe we should go over there.
Okay. Had it too.